All right, we're going to be solving log equations here. Now the first few up top are like very basic and simple. So we're just involved changing something from log form to exponent form. So that just might be all you have to do. So whenever you have a log and you have a number, like so you have logs and numbers, so the difference between these equations is this. Look at this problem. You see how it has log, 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 whereas this problem, it has a log, but then it has other regular numbers. This one, log, 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 log and regular numbers. So there can be two different styles of problems. So if you have a log with logs and regular numbers, then you're going to want to do what we're about to do here. You're going to want to get your logs on one side, your numbers on the other side, and then you're going to change it to exponent form. So 4 to the 2 has to equal this. Well, we all know that 4 squared is 16. So 16 equals 3x minus 1, and then I would solve that. I'd get 17 over 3. All right, here, 5 to the 0 has to equal this. So 5 to the 0 has to equal 4x plus 3. Well, 5 to the 0 is 1. So that would solve. I would get 1 minus 3, so negative 2 over 4. So it would be negative 1/2. Now, with log equations, you have to be careful. You just want to do a quick check in your mind. If you were to put 17/3 right here, so 3 times 17 over 3 minus 1. This cancels. 17 minus 1 is 16. So you had to make sure that what you're taking the log of is not a negative number. And so 16 wasn't. So if you put a negative 1/2 here, negative 1/2 times 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 3, is it negative or 0? Nope. So we're good to go. All right, so anyway, with logs, you have to check your answers a little bit. Make sure you're not going to get the log of a negative or log of 0. All right, here we go. 2 to the 3rd. So 2 to the 3rd is 8. Has to equal 2x over 5. So let's cross multiply. Get 40 equals 2x, so x equals 20. And I do a quick mental check. 2 times 20 is not going to be negative or 0, so we're good. All right, this guy. Before I do my change, I have to go ahead and subtract 5. So log base 3 of x minus 4 equals negative 2. So it's okay to have a negative over there because this is just going to give us 3 to the negative 2 equals x minus 4. Well, 3 to the negative 2, that's 1 over 3 squared. So that's 1/9 equals x minus 4. So x equals 4 plus 1/9, so 4 and 1/9. Or you could say that's 36, 37 over 9. Okay. All right, here we go. So here, I need to clean this up. I got to take away 6, and then I also have to divide by 3. So it's going to be 12. I got to divide that by 3, so it's going to be 4. So when I clean this up, I got log base 3 of 4x minus 5 equals 4. Okay, so 3 to the 4th. Well, 3 to the 4th is 81. Has to equal 4x minus 5. So add 5, I get 86. So my answer is 86 over 4, which reduces down to 43 over 2. Okay, and these are all fine answers. They work. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take away 6 again, divide by 3. So I pretty much have the same problem as earlier, so I'm going to get a 4. But this time I have log base 2 of x squared plus 7, right? Because it's the same steps as basically this one. Take away 6 and divide by 3. All right, so 2 to the 4th. Well, 2 to the 4th is 16. So 16 has to equal x squared plus 7. Okay, take away 7 from both sides. I get 9. And I take the square root. So x equals plus or minus 3, don't forget. Okay, so mentally check. If you put a plus or minus 3 here, is it going to create a negative or a 0? It does not. So we're good. All right, so those were all logs and numbers. So now we have a problem here in letter G and also the next one where everything has the word log. So this is where the last lesson comes in. You're going to want to condense. So addition turns into multiplication. So I have log of x plus 3 times 3x minus 2 has to equal log of 2x, and this 2 is going to come up, so 2x squared. So once I have this, what I can do is I can drop the word log, and then I just have this problem to solve. This has to equal that. So let's work it out. X times 3x is 3x squared. The outside is negative 2x. The inside is 9x. So 9 minus 2 is 7x. And then the last part gives me negative 6. This equals 4x squared. Okay, so I'm going to bring everything over to the right so that I can factor, hopefully. So 4x squared minus 3x squared is 1x squared. 7x comes over as a negative 7x. Negative 6 comes over as a plus 6. So I factor that. I'll get x minus 6 and x minus 1. So my answers are 1 and 6. So just a quick mental check. If you put a 1 or a 6 here, it doesn't cause a negative or a 0. If you put a 1 or a 6 here, it doesn't cause it to be negative or 0. If you put a 1 or a 6 here, it does not cause it to be negative or 0. So you can keep both of the answers. All right, next one. So again, put these together. So I have log of 2x minus 5 over 4x equals log of 15. So now both sides match. I can just go ahead and drop this word log. So I basically have 2x minus 5 over 4x equals 15. So let's cross multiply. I get 60x equals 2x minus 5. Take away 2x, so I get negative 5 equals 58x. So x equals negative 5 over 58. Well, do a quick mental check. If you put a negative 5 over 58 right here, 4 times a negative, that's going to be negative. I can't do it. So the only answer I got is something that I cannot use. So there's no solution to this one. Okay, so these expressions would never equal each other. All right, over here. So I have one little pesky part. This does not have the word log with it. So what I'm going to have to do is get my logs on one side and the number on the other side. So I'm going to move that 2 to the other side so it turns positive. I'm going to bring this back so he turns positive. So basically have log base 12 of 12x plus log base 12 of x minus 1. So you know addition turns into multiplication. So I have log base 12 of 12x times x minus 1 equals 2. All right, so I'm going to write it as an exponent. 12 to the 2, that's 144, has to equal 12x times x minus 1. Let's work this out. 12x squared minus 12x. I got 144 there. So I'm going to have to bring the 144 over. So 12x squared minus 12x minus 144. All right, so all of these numbers divide by 12. So I'm going to make it easier on myself and divide everything by 12. And I'm going to get x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. So then when I go to factor it, it's much simpler. I get x minus 4 and x plus 3. So my answers are 4 and negative 3. But, check, putting a 4 here is fine, 4 here is fine. But negative 3 here is no good. It makes this expression negative. So I will not keep the negative 3. X equals 4 is my only answer.